Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to go through some important computer and network security exam questions together. I'll explain each question step by step so that you can understand it clearly and answer it confidently in your exams. Let's get started. At question 1, a multinational company operates across several countries and stores large volumes of sensitive data including financial records, employee information, and customer details. The company relies heavily on its network infrastructure to share and manage this data across its branches globally. As the company expands, it becomes an increasingly attractive target for cybercriminals. Identify the possible attacks this company may face and explain how each can be mitigated. When answering this question, examiners expect you to mention different types of cyber attacks and explain how each can be prevented. Let's go through them. First, phishing attacks. This is when attackers send fake emails that appear legitimate to trick employees into giving away sensitive information like usernames and passwords. Companies can mitigate this by training employees to recognize suspicious emails and using email filtering systems to block phishing attempts. Next, malware attacks. This includes viruses, worms, and ransomware that can damage systems or lock important data. These attacks can be prevented by installing antivirus software and ensuring all systems are regularly updated. Another attack is a distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS. In this attack, hackers flood the company's network with excessive traffic, causing systems to crash or become unavailable. This can be mitigated by using firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and monitoring network traffic closely. We also have insider threats. Employees may misuse their access privileges either intentionally or accidentally. These threats can be reduced by implementing access controls and monitoring user activity. Finally, man-in-the-middle attacks occur when hackers intercept communication between two parties without their knowledge. This can be prevented by using strong encryption methods such as HTTPS and virtual private networks. The key point is that no single solution is enough. Effective security requires multiple layers of protection to safeguard sensitive data across the company. Question 2. As cyber threats increase, organizations are adopting stronger methods to verify user identity and protect sensitive data. One such method is biometric authentication, which uses unique physical characteristics of individuals to grant access. Explain biometrics as a method of authentication. State 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages. Biometric authentication is a method of verifying identity using unique physical traits such as fingerprints, facial recognition, or iris scans. Instead of passwords, the system uses a person's biological features. One advantage is that it is highly secure because these traits are very difficult to replicate. Another advantage is convenience, since users do not need to remember passwords. However, there are disadvantages. First, implementing biometric systems can be expensive. Second, there are privacy risks if biometric data is stolen, because unlike passwords, biometric traits cannot be changed easily. Question 3. Beyond technical damage, cyber attacks carry serious ethical and legal consequences for organizations that fail to protect sensitive data. Discuss the ethical and legal implications of cyber attacks on organizations. Use specific examples to support your answer. Ethically, cyber attacks can lead to loss of customer trust, exposure of personal information, and damage to a company's reputation. Customers expect their data to be protected, and failing to do so is considered irresponsible. Legally, organizations may face fines, lawsuits, and penalties from regulators for failing to safeguard data. For example, if a company leaks customer financial information, it may be sued and required to pay compensation, in addition to facing regulatory fines. It is important to remember that companies have both an ethical and legal duty to protect the sensitive data of employees and customers. Question 4. Despite security measures, organizations may still fall victim to data breaches. How an organization responds to a breach determines the extent of the damage and the speed of recovery. A company has just experienced a data breach. Explain the steps the organization should take to handle the breach effectively. The first step is to identify the breach and determine exactly what happened. Next, the company should contain the breach to prevent further damage. Then it should assess the impact and understand what data was affected. After assessing the impact, the organization should notify affected customers, employees, and relevant authorities. The next step is to fix the vulnerabilities that caused the breach to prevent it from happening again. Finally, the organization should review and improve its overall security measures. A structured and prompt response is critical to minimizing the damage and restoring trust. This concludes the answers to all 4 questions. By understanding these attacks, authentication methods, ethical and legal responsibilities, and proper breach responses, you are now well prepared to answer similar questions confidently in your exam.